This is Colin Dijs, and in this video you'll see a live masterclass recording. For the entire month of December, every day I will give you a specific part of the masterclasses. I will prepare a playlist to the site, so no matter when you're watching this, you can click on the playlist, go to the next video, part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4, until the masterclass is completed, and then there will be a next one available. If you want to attend these masterclasses live with me, ask your questions all about native ads, check the link in the description below for very affordable group coaching. I hope you enjoy, and if you have any questions, feel free to drop them down in the comments below. So they are hungry to spend, right? But if you have like a junior media buyer, which they are supported with so much material, right? It's just more the labor part than the understanding. They start on budgets like 20, 50K a day as a junior. And of course, you're going to make big mistakes, right? And I'm like, oof, that's like risky, you know, it's like a lot of money. But it's like, yeah, if you have the landers, if you have the ads already, if you just have somebody over your shoulder looking and explaining you how to do the optimization or how to check the software, yeah, it's not that big of a deal then. Not that much can go wrong. But trust me, if it goes wrong, it can go quite quickly. Oh, well, I've been following this Dutch company called Flow Traders. They had like in lockdown, they were in the news because like a exchange or they trade on the stock market, and you were not allowed to go to the office. So they shut down their office, but the CEO kept bringing food to the office, and all the young people who work there, they just slept at the office because you were not allowed to go inside or outside. So they just brought food there. And it's like that kind of hustle mentality. These people are young, they're hungry, and just willing to risk it all for money, sell their souls, kind of.
Yeah, basically sociopathics.
It's a whole different mentality, which I like. You know, it's quite unique to feel that kind of energy and vibe from those people. Yes. Anything else for you, Mr. Roncini?
No, but interesting stuff, really. We are little fishes, really. Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. There's always bigger fish, right? So um, when you look down, you might see a lot of different people in different situations. But when you look up, there's like people you might not see, but they're definitely there. So once you know something, there's always somebody who knows more. But then again, you don't know what you don't know. Just gotta ask. Maybe you'll get the answers. I asked actually today my account manager a question, which I thought was like very weird. Because the thing is, these algorithms that they use, they are like, what's the word, proprietary, right? There's no external information on it. They're really secretive about it, how it works. So I have one creative in one specific campaign with like a half dozen widgets, and it doesn't spend properly. So I just asked her like, hey, let's just pretend that I don't know anything, right? Because I don't about your algorithm. I have 12 widgets here. The only thing I can think of, if the bits are the same, is to slowly increase the coefficient. She said, well, you don't have to increase the coefficient. What you could do is add more teasers and it will automatically serve more reach. I'm like, okay, but why? She's like, well, I can't explain why. That's just how the system works, right? It's just, there's no logic behind it. It's just serve more teasers and you get more reach, although the CPC is the same. So why can this one teaser not be served more reach, right? Well, it doesn't work like that. The system needs more teasers. So I told her, oh, what about I just take that one teaser, I call it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I just upload the same teasers. And she's like, the algorithm filters out duplicates. So that's smart, but dumb because it doesn't work, right? You would really have to have unique teasers to get it served more. And I'm like, well, that goes against my media buying because those could be less quality, which means I get less reach and doesn't make sense. But she said, that's how it works. So then you learn a new thing just by asking if you don't understand, right? Because we just always want to connect the dots with the data. And sometimes the dots don't connect, or they do connect, but there's like some question marks. You just ask, and she gives me the answer. Although most media buyers would just say, yeah, just put in more, just up the bit, right? That's usually what they say, just up the bit. It's fine. Your campaign will be okay, just up the bit. But in this scenario, she gave me a quite interesting explanation, which means that you could never know this without doing it. Anybody who here runs Taboola? Yesterday, we had a good speech about smart bidding. Yes, we still remember? Ross, Gary, yeah? Smart bidding also is such a feature where we make a lot of assumptions on what it's actually doing, but the question remains, what is it actually doing? Well, nobody really knows, right? We just have to fill in the gaps on how it's working. Samantha, you still buy Taboola or not?
Yeah.
Are you using the smart bidding feature?
Yes.
Please enlighten us. What do you think the smart bidding feature actually does?
I have no idea. I just heard Victor advices and my manager advised, and I put smart bidding just this.
Okay,
I have
fair
no
enough.
idea.
Because I asked Vitor yesterday, right? I asked him, what is the smart bidding doing? And he said it gets us more conversions. So we spent the next 10, 15 minutes on examining the campaign, and it turns out it doesn't get him more conversions.
Doesn't?
So well, apparently not how he thought it would get him more conversions. So our question is, and Miguel is looking at it, what is it actually doing, the smart bidding? Because it's available on the widget level, but not on the teaser level. So for the teasers, it also has no function. And you're like, oh, I didn't know that. No.
You know that.
I also didn't know that, but it's always interesting that on Taboola, you have the smart bidding. On MGID, you have the coefficient. On ref content, you have the first, second display rating. Every system has some kind of like reach magnifier. Is that the word? It just gives you the opportunity to leverage the algorithm more. But MGID is the coefficient between the teaser and the widget, but Taboola is the smart bidding, and each of these platforms has this unique system. Now, I think I speak for everybody that we would always use this, right? And that's like the biggest problem, that if we don't know what it's doing, is it not working against us? One thing I found on the smart bidding when I read the data is, so the smart bidding works like this, right? At any point, it would adjust the bid for you. If you would have bids 10 cents, 11 cents, 12 cents, 13 cents, 14 cents, your bid is 12, it will move to 13 and 14, but it will never move down. It will never become cheaper, it will only become more expensive. So is it smart only for Taboola or also for me, right? Even when the entire daily budget is spent, it still ups the bid. Why? Right? Yeah, because then you get more relevant traffic. How does the system know what's relevant to me? Well, in conversions, okay, but the conversions are not happening. Well, that depends. You need to spend more. And then you get like a cycle of spend more, blah, 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 bullshit, bullshit, bullshit. And nobody can really explain what the smart bidding is actually doing, right? And if an account manager can't explain it, then there might be a little problem, yeah? Fair enough. And all these systems therefore are great. And I think we can have such an edge over the competition if we would truly take the time to learn how these nifty tools work, instead of just, yes, accepting everything. Who here has ever in their life read a full terms and conditions? Everybody just accepts them, right? Same, guilty. But this is kind of the same thing. So I'm not telling you to read the terms and conditions, but I am telling you to read any advanced optimization options that you might be presented with. Okay, cool. Let me pull up some information, and then I have some questions that we can walk through, which might be interesting to evaluate together. I'll just pull up some data. Pull up some data, that's what I said, yes. Mm. Okay, there we go. Thank you for your patience. Can we see? All right, perfect. Who here is feeling smart today? Nobody. Ah, that's a shame. That's a shame. It's a trick question, isn't it? Nobody wants to get baited today. Murat, you're looking extra handsome today. So I think you are ready for some tough questions, yeah?
Let's give it a try.
How is the squeeze campaign?
I shut it off because the only widget which has traction and the most conversions, suddenly no traffic at all. And I asked the MGID rep what's going on and what I could do to get more traffic on this widget, and she didn't reply yet, so I pause it for now.
Fair enough. That makes sense. Who's your rep?
Lena,
And when did you ask her?
yesterday.
Ooh, okay.
She ghosted me.
Yeah, I think so. Because she doesn't ghost me. Yeah, that's how it goes, yeah. It's the industry. Anyway, so you had the squeeze campaign, right?
Yeah.
And what was the actual profit that you ended up pulling out of this campaign? You got those numbers?
Yeah, net profit, I didn't get overall profit. It was about $100 minus.
All right, that's not too bad. Okay, but then I cannot make the example that I wanted to make, so we'll do something else. If you could optimize the flow with this squeeze campaign, right? So you had a flow that was working on, let's say, less than 5 widgets, right, on the squeeze.
Yes.
Now there's no more reach. What are the opportunities for you to expand the reach?
To play with the coefficient, up the coefficient.
Is that likely? If the campaign right now is minus $100, what would likely occur if you apply this strategy?
You destroy the profit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So unlikely that if we do that consistently, it would give us a profitable outcome.
Yeah.
Right. So we would have to look for the traffic somewhere else. But it's a good suggestion, because I think the upping the bid, we make jokes about it, but it keeps coming. It keeps coming back and back to haunt me. I was listening to what's that company called? It's a very big media buying agency, and when I say big, I mean like 3,000 people work there, right? So they media buy for Amazon, for Nike, like all these companies. And the CEO did quite an interesting podcast where he said, the bid is never the problem, right? There are super cool softwares out there that can adjust the bid for you, right? They can adjust the bid in such a way that it's literally always profitable, right? You need to throw some money into it, couple hundred, couple $1,000, right? And in this, you feed the machine data and it optimizes it in such a way that it's literally always profitable. How amazing is that? Really cool. Such a software is only like $200 a month, right? But what is the big problem?
The problem with.
So you feed, the campaign feeds data, right? And the software does all the optimization. It adjusts the bid, it looks at the CTR, at everything, right? So it keeps adjusting the bid until the campaign is profitable, right? But still there is one major problem, because now your campaign is profitable, done by the software,